Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the Planners on Purpose Book Club. I'm Naomi Tucker, and I am really delighted to be here today. Today, we are going to be discussing You Are a Badass, and that is by Jen Sincero. So, this is her book. So, we'll be talking about this book today and going over all of the points that you had and some exciting things that I found while I was reading the book and just having a discussion about it. So I hope you're doing well this week. I certainly am. Things are, popping off in the event world. I know some of the excitement this week was some of those pictures from the Lollapalooza event in Chicago. That was very, very interesting to see. So there are definitely lots of mass events happening, and it's raising a little bit of concern. So hopefully, those planners like you that are prepared and plan on purpose, we are doing everything that we need to do in order to keep attendees safe, no matter how they choose to show up at the events. So I hope that that's something that you're working out in your businesses and in your events that you're planning. But welcome to the book club. This week has been a good week for me. I shared in our Planners on Purpose Facebook group that I got a chance to welcome back a member of my team. So I'm very excited about that. It's exciting to see when people are coming back to work, and it's been a very long year, almost year and a half. So seeing people come back and take their old positions, it's been just a delight to see. And I hope you're seeing that too. So, and then I even got an email today from one of a sales manager that had been furloughed for a while. And it was just so great to be able to just hear her, see her email, and really, really talk to her today. So that was exciting too. So I hope that you're seeing that exciting upward tick to your meetings and events happening, and that you're doing everything that you can in order to embrace it. Um, if you're new to this book club, I just wanted to share with you, not only welcome, we're so excited to have you here, but this book club is all about empowering event planners and those that just enjoy reading the books to live their best life. And we like to read books that really help us have some intention about our lives and to help us to really learn more and discover more about ourselves. So that's exactly the reason why this book club is here. I am a planner and I certainly do love to read. So it's something that I have always enjoyed. I have books pretty much everywhere. You can see behind me and in front of me, I have a couple of bookshelves too. So I definitely have a ton of books, and I love to read and love to chat about those. So as you find yourself settling in for the book discussion today, I would like to invite you to go ahead and put comments in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from, and then also participate and let me know what you think about the book and some of the points that I will go over. Also, if you would like to join me live, just definitely I will have that link for you as well. You can join me live and then we can have a discussion more about the book. So, welcome again. We are talking about You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. It's a amazing book. And I really found that the book had lots of practical tips. To me, it was like she smushed like tons of these tips into one book. There are so many words of wisdom in the book. Um, there were so many takeaways, and it felt like it was many of those self-help books all combined into one book. So that's what it felt like to me. She didn't just tackle one area; she gave insight to so many other areas as well. So it's definitely a great book to have on your bookshelf because it has so much that you can really thumb through and just find so many tips. And it really does, I would say, live up to her title here, which is How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Live an Awesome Life. So I feel like she really did that. And the reason why I picked this book was because several of you had showed up and told me, this is a great book. You need to read this book for a book club. I know one person in particular, Cherie Cameron, who I had on my podcast. She also said, you have got to read this book. It changed my life. So I'm very excited to have this book now in our repertoire here at the book club. And and I enjoy having a discussion about it. So let me know, have you read this book? And what did you think? What did your initial thoughts about the author, how she wrote? Did it really engage you right from the beginning? Did it get your attention? Was it a quick read or a slow read? I would love to hear your general thoughts about the book. Okay. Now, for me, it was a pretty fast read. I read it really fast. She was speaking really good language. Just her tone in the book was just very practical, down to earth, realistic tone. And I really enjoyed that. And I enjoyed a lot of the stories that she had about her own life. It wasn't just stories from other people or case studies. This was actual really good stories from her own life that I typically that I just enjoyed. So I wonder if that is something that you enjoy too. And if it is, you just let me know. Okay. All right. So now I had a few takeaways, and let me see how many I had. I had several takeaways for this book that I wanted to share with you. And after I share my takeaways, feel free to share yours or just make this be more of a collaborative conversation. The first thing that I enjoyed about this book was the importance of journaling throughout the whole book. I felt like that was so real and raw, and she encouraged journaling throughout the whole duration of the book. You can tell that that is a lot of her coaching style, to just allow you to journal and write things out and show yourself another pathway or solution to what you're going through. So, depending on which little chapters that you were reading, whether it be on money or whether it be on limiting beliefs, the importance of journaling definitely flows through this book. And I feel is a very valuable takeaway for a lot of people, because it is so important to journal out your thoughts, journal out your ideas, and even journal out some of the questions that you have about yourself, or the beliefs that you have, or some of the points that where you feel like it's getting a little tough and you don't know how to decipher them. Journaling things out allows you to process it, take an analytical look at it, and really just say, hey, what am I learning from this? How can I get better at this? And I really love that she stressed the importance of journaling in her book. And I know that I had my Oliphant, which is a good friend, and she came on the podcast to talk about the importance of journaling. And it's just so very important, not only for just those that love to write, but also important for just event planners, just to be able to write things down. So it is definitely a very important thing. And I think that you should for sure take that away from the conversation today. So let me know in the chat, do you journal? Do you journal? If you do, how do you journal? Is it in the morning or is it in the evening? I find that I absolutely love journaling in the evening after everything is shut down. So for me, everything has to be more at peace. All of my to-do lists have to be either completed or at a resting spot. So I enjoy journaling and out towards the end of my day. But I would love to know how that is for you, and how you incorporate journaling, or how will you incorporate if I can talk, if you can how will you incorporate journaling within your days? Okay. So my next takeaway that I've had, and by the way, let me just say that this book is really divided up into many chapters. So I think it's 27 chapters that Jen had in her book. So, and it's divided up into, for those of you that have not read the book, it's divided up into 5 separate parts. So the first part is how you got this way. The second part is how to embrace your inner badass. And the third part is how to tap into another load. Fourth is how to get over your BS already. And then number 5 is how to kick some ass. So I don't often say those words, so it tickles myself to say it, but it's a really, like I said, really down to earth book, and I think that you'll definitely enjoy it as you read it. Okay. So my second takeaway is there's this big reminder in the book of where you put your energy, right? So, Jen explains that obviously everything is created up of energy. We're created of energy. Everything that you see has energy flowing in and through it. Everything is energy. So if that's the case, there's a reminder of where you put your energy. So if you're angry, if you're happy, if if you're sad, all of that are different energies and different frequencies that you resonate at. And so there was a really big reminder in this book in several chapters of where you put that energy. So your energy needs to be able to flow, or else it's going to stagnate. And I thought that was a very great reminder as well, that you need to keep making consistent steps towards your goal. Don't allow your energy to stagnate, because if it does, when you think about energy like water, it's similar to that. If you find those bodies of water that are just still, what you normally get is growth on top of that water, right? It stagnates, it's smelly. There are things that happen when you allow things to stagnate. And if you keep it to just at a flow, it is fresh. It keeps things flowing, and it allows you to just continue to flow and level up if you need to another level. So think about your energy like water, that you do have to continue to move throughout this life, doing awesome and amazing things, and surrendering to just the flow is what she's saying, the flow of things. So I thought that was really interesting reminder on for the full book, and wonder what you think about that as well. Um, all right. So the next tip I have, or my takeaway, was making decisive and quick decisions. So with Mel, she has sorry, not with Mel, but with Jen. Jen really talked about making sure that you are in a process where you're making quick decisions. And I know sometimes I struggle with this, because even when I take certain tests, I'm more of a deliberative person. I like to think things through. But in order to make sure things move, you have to make decisions at certain points. So making sure that you quickly assess the situation, determine what your decision is going to be, and make the decision is going to be very helpful for you in your business, in your life. And it helps things to move along. It helps the energy to keep flowing. So another example of this is, if you all have not read Mel Robbins' book, it's called The 5-Second Rule. That's a really great resource for you if you have challenges with making quick decisions. In that book, Mel also talks about just making those decisions and using just a simple strategy of counting down from 5, just doing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just making the decision. And even if you have to make a decision to shift it or delegate it, however you're going to do it, it's really important to just keep things going and keep things flowing. So I really enjoyed the conversation around making quick decisions in the book, and would just encourage you to go ahead and explore that if you have not read the book. Okay. Great. And again, if you are here and you would like to contribute to the discussion, definitely go ahead and put your message in the chat, and I'll see that, and I'll make sure to read it or show it on the screen. Okay. So the next tip is making money your new best friend. That was my other takeaway about it. And it really is talking about operating out of the abundance, because there's so much abundance out here in the world, and she says in the universe, in order to receive. So don't settle for the lack or being close fisted or being in the need. And this can be a helpful tip for everyone because I feel like, especially in the last year, we all felt as though we lost our jobs or we need money in order to make ends meet. And sometimes that causes lots of stress and it just causes a lot of lack in your life. So the whole simple fact of let's operate out of abundance and see the abundance in the situation and always be receiving really helps you to not operate your life with a closed fist, that you're open to receive. So I enjoyed that. And she put in her book that nothing has value other than the value that we put on it. And I feel like that is so true. The dollar bill is the dollar bill because we say it's the dollar. So it's the value that we put on these things that determine what it is. So where are you putting your value? Are you putting your value in your job? Are you putting your value in a position? Um, and is that where you should put your value? And if not, then where should you put that value? And let's see an abundant side of that versus seeing something that's more out of a need or a lack. So this one is something I always feel like I need to brush up on because if you don't have it, if you don't have the money or you don't have the fill in your blank, you're going to have to go out there and find out how to create it, how to find it. And that all represents the fact that that you are in the lack. There was a really great process in here about money that I felt like we can apply to clients as well. So I wanted to read it. It was on page 216. And I thought that this was helpful when we have our clients, and whether they be, clients in your organization, if you're managing different accounts, it's very helpful for you to, even at that point, operate out of abundance and not necessarily the lack. So here's what she says. When you charge your clients from a certain frequency or demand a salary, you attract clients and employers who are already at that frequency. You're not putting a gun to their heads. You are not the only person offering these goods and services. They're free to work with or hire someone else who's at a different frequency than you are, but they're coming to you. And part of what you offer is an opportunity to meet your frequency. By lowering your frequency out of fear, leaves everyone vibrating at a lower frequency. And I know there's a lot of frequency talk and in there, but it really just goes to show that, there is an energy exchange that really happens with money and happens with goods and services. And if you think of it like that, then people can meet you at the energy that you're giving out or meet you where you are. And that really can help when it comes to, sharing your value and your client on the other side, accepting that value and feeling good about it and having a good, a kind of a good energetic exchange versus it being tight fisted, close fisted. We're going back and forth. So that is something to think about when you're operating your businesses. Okay. So my next takeaway is how how urgency can really help make things happen in your life. And this was just something that I wrote down that it really was a good takeaway from me, because especially for event planners or those that plan events or those that are very in high pressured situations or roles, is that when you have that urgency, that's when you are making it happen. If you have an event or a client throws an event at you and it has to turn around within a month or 2 months, it's just all hands on deck. We're going to make this happen no matter what. We're going to show them how we get it done. Now, perhaps you're a type of person that you need that deadline in front of your face in order for you to make it happen. And so if that is the case, it's really good to take a look at that, of you being that type of person, and see how you can apply it to your life and apply it to the things that you want to do for you. And then from there, make sure that you're getting clear with yourself and that you're getting urgent, and don't screw yourself with your time. And that's kind of what Jen said in her book. So that I thought was a really great reminder for many of us that probably are in the service industry. We're working with the client's deadline, we're trying to get things in on time. And most of the time, what makes us work at our best is that pressure to get it done in that deadline. So, how about applying that to your life and using it to make you basically live out of your greatness for the things that you are passionate for? Okay. So my one of my final takeaways is really about the importance of mentoring. So with this one, it was all about saying that it's important for you to talk to someone about some of the things that you're going through, to work through some of the beliefs and the thoughts that you have in your life around yourself. In the book, she talks a little bit about some of those silent habitual thoughts that we do have that really end up shaping our reality. So it'd be simple things like, I am not good at that, or I'll never find a companion for myself, or I am always overthinking things. Those are simple examples of small little thoughts that can end up breaking you down over time. And what ends up happening is you start to believe what those thoughts are, because those thoughts end up creating your beliefs and then creating your habits. And then it ends up just becoming your reality. So instead of doing that, it's nice to really be aware of some of those limiting beliefs that you do have. Make sure you're writing them down. That's why I really enjoyed the importance of journaling in Jen's book. And then really just go through them and try to change those thoughts to something that's going to be, I like to say, life bringing to yourself. So instead of something that really speaks, kind of speaks down at you, more of like, I always overthink things. Perhaps you want to change that into, I enjoy, thinking things through and coming up with an answer. So those are just simple ways to have things change more positively for yourself, and you start believing a different narrative about yourself. So I'm pretty sure all of us, we struggle with limiting belief. Even the best of the best definitely struggles with these limiting beliefs. The key though is to change it, to find out what it is, to change it, and then start rewriting that new narrative so you can see yourself in a totally different and amazing life. So going back to what Jen was talking about, the importance of mentoring, she just talked about it's important for you to talk through some of those things, like those limiting beliefs, with a mentor, or as myself, with the coach. Like, my services are available to you. So definitely, if you feel like these are some thoughts that you struggle with and that you would like to um, go ahead and have some help with that, go ahead and send me a DM on Instagram or get in touch with me. I'll definitely be able to help you with any of that. But getting a coach or getting a mentor is going to be like the fastest and the best thing that you can do in order to make a massive change in a short amount of time. So if you really enjoyed this book and you felt like, oh my gosh, I have some things that I need to work on, I definitely would encourage you to find a coach, find a mentor to be able to help you. And I would be excited to help you with that. So those were my specific takeaways. This book I feel is a must. It's a must to have on your bookshelf. So I really am thankful to those that had suggested it to me. If I also enjoy that there is a list of resources in the back of this book as well. So she has, and it's mainly books, which really is something that gets me going. If you have a list of books, I'm all for that. So she has a list of books at the back here. Some of these I have read and they are really great ones. So I would encourage you to go ahead and take some of those and actually look them up and have those on your bookshelf as well. So yeah, definitely a great put together book. I knew a lot of things, but it's just really great hearing from someone else's perspective on a thing. So it was really great to hear Jen's viewpoint on certain things, and I really love her realism in throughout her book. So it was a really great book to have, and I'm excited that I read it. So what did you think about the book? Let me know. Let me see if I see anything from you all. All right. All right. You guys are silent today. It's okay. So make sure that if you are watching on the replay, would love it if you would say hey to me, put hi Naomi, hashtag replay, or if you have an aha moment or something that you would like to discuss, definitely go ahead and put that in the chat as well. I will catch it and I will comment on it. And if you have a question, I'll make sure that I listen to it or will respond to it and give you an answer to the best of my ability as well. Oh, another thing that I wanted to bring up about this book is that at the very end of every single chapter, Jen just stresses the importance of loving yourself. And she always has just some practical tips at the end of her stories to say, here's how I would suggest that you combat this. And the last one is always love. And I thought that that was so great because we do need to continue to be reminded to love ourselves, give ourselves grace, and really just realize that we are great and we are unique and we're amazing and we have so much to give. So I hope that that is something that you do take away, if anything, from my points is to definitely give yourself all the love that you can give. So that's all I had. Those were my takeaways. And I know that you all are a little quieter today, and that's absolutely fine. Again, if you had any questions, go ahead and put those out into the chat. But I wanted to remind you that we do have an upcoming book club. Um, and it is, and I'm going to go find it. So this upcoming book club is in September, and it is with Daniel Coyle's The Talent Code. So it will be on September 8th. So September 8th would be our next book club book. So if you want to go ahead and get registered or at least on the book club list, I would encourage you to do that. And you can go to plannersonpurpose.com /book club and be able to sign up for those notifications. And what I do when you're on the book club list is that you are basically in the club, a part of the club, and I'll be sending you regular updates about the books that are selected and give you reminders and really just kind of bring you along on the journey and my journey of reading those books and also giving you reminders for when I go live so that you can join me for the discussion. So again, it's The Culture Code. Sorry, I had to look that up. So The Culture Code by Daniel Coyle is our next book, and it's all about unlocking the secret to highly successful groups, and it helps provide leaders with the tools to be cohesive, motivated culture. So I feel like now that we have our teams are changing, things have been restructured a bit because of what happened in the last year. Um, we have an opportunity to really rethink how culture looks and take a look again at what our culture is, because it could be significantly different based off of the people that you now have in your organization or who you're working with. So a lot of people during this time have taken pivots and changes to how they're managing their business and how they're working with others. And so the culture code is definitely going to help us with that and help us look at how groups are successful. Let's take a look at it again, because perhaps you had it down pat about a year ago, but friends things have changed. So let's look at it again. Let's see what the tools are that Daniel's going to provide us with to help have a motivated culture, and then just see how that we can apply that to the organizations that we work for and the businesses that we support, and help us continue to push the needle when it comes to our professional and personal development. So I do hope that you join me for that next book club. Is Wednesday, September 8th. And again, you can sign up at plannersonpurpose.com /book club. Okay. Well, I hope that you enjoyed my takeaways. And again, I am looking forward to seeing all of your takeaways in the chat. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for showing up. I really appreciate it. I enjoy reading these books every single month and coming and sharing my thoughts with you. And I can't wait to hear what you have to say about this book in the comments. But thank you, thank you, thank you. We will talk to you all at the next book club. So we will see you soon.